Huh? Okay. Huh?
Yes, we're live.
Oh, we're live. Okay, great. Well, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Assembly Member Kansen Chu. I want to thank you very much for joining us in this WIC Virtual Town Hall. I hope everyone and your loved one are well and healthy. Thank you again. I have over the period of sheltering in place, have held many of the virtual town hall on CalFresh program, which is a program that was pretty much administered by a different department. It's a social services department. And the WIC program is administered by the state public health department. It's a different program. It's not that well known as the CalFresh, because CalFresh program has been around for a long time. So is WIC. But this pandemic has brought on a lot of difficulty and stress to our community, especially in regard to food security for many families. And that is why I'm very happy to invite the WIC's agency to provide you all with information about the program and how to apply it. This program that aims to provide nutritional assistance, information on healthy eating, breastfeeding support, and referral to healthcare and other community programs are at no cost for women with children up to age 5. I want to thank you, all the speakers who are taking time out of your busy schedule to be with us today. And there will be time for questions from the audiences toward the end. So if you have any questions, you have a couple of options to submit your questions. One is to comment on Facebook Live or email the questions to assemblymember.chu@assembly.ca.gov. You can submit your question at any time. And if you miss part of this presentation, you can review it on my Facebook or website later. And we'll be hosting another Spanish version tomorrow, October 13th at 3 o'clock. And on October 15th, there will be a Spanish speaking a version as well. So if you know of anybody in need for help on this food security issue, please encourage them to log on. And again, it will be on the Facebook and my website. So you can encourage your friends to learn about it if for whatever reason they couldn't join us today at this point. So please be patient with the technical issue arise. You know, we have held so many Zoom meetings, and I'd say 1 out of the 5 we might run into some technical difficulties. So if that happens, please be patient with us. And before we begin, I'd like to introduce our San Jose City Council member, Sylvia Arenas. She's a good friend of mine, and she has devoted her professional career to making it possible for families and children to have a high quality of life. So without further ado, Councilmember Arenas, the floor is yours.
When you talked about technical difficulties, you didn't talk about technical errors, which is what I just did, and not unmute myself. We're living in a different time, Assembly Member. First of all, I just want to say thank you so much for your dedication to families. And this kind of town halls really display the commitment that you have to all of us. You know that I'm a mom of 2, and so this particular subject is very close and near to my heart. And I don't know if you knew this, Assembly Member, but both Council Member Carrasco and myself used to work at one of the Gardner clinics doing early childhood screenings, development screenings. And so we would work really closely with the WIC program that would be just across the street from Gardner Clinic off of Virginia. And so this takes me back a little bit and just makes me think about all of those families that need support. As you recognize and you understand, especially because of this pandemic, most of our families that need support have really grown. May not know about all of the programmings, right? There's quite a bit of support out there for families, but one thing is knowing about them and being able to utilize that. And so I'm really happy to be here today and to be part of it. And I just wanted to share a little bit that of the work that I'm doing, because I know that you brought me on board because of your love and commitment for families and mine as well. We share this in common. And I launched a family-friendly initiative last year, which is part and parcel of who I am. I know that you are as well. And so this is something that really unifies us. Anything that I can do to help spread the word and spread the message and support families, please keep me in mind. Other than that, I'm looking forward to some of the information and clearing up some of the misinformation, right? Sometimes we hear about the criteria and whether we need documentation or not. And I think this form is really going to give some clear directions and criteria eligibility for all of us. Talking about criteria eligibility, one last thing that I just wanted to promote, and this is for the benefit of our families, and that is the learning pods that the city of San Jose are standing up for our families. And this is really in lieu of our schools not having children physically come to school. And so we have learning pods that most families use as childcare. And we recognize this. People need to get back to work, and we're more than happy to help with a learning pod. So that means that your child can be hosted at one of our community centers or libraries throughout the east side and some parts of San Jose. And so Kylie, who is part of my team, is going to put a link in our chat, and please tap into that. There's quite a bit of spaces as this is just launched. And we're happy to support all of our families who are struggling. This is 100% free of charge. And so your child will be eligible to be at a community center or a library that is a city of San Jose for free. So that is another benefit that I just was hoping to spread the news about. Thank you once again, Assembly Member. And thank you to all of our presenters that I know work every day with our families and bring all of the support that they actually need. I really am grateful to all of you. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Council Member. Please stay on. You may be able to help with some questions that arise from the audiences. Again, Council Member Arenas is a true public servant who have time and time again put the interests of those she served first. So thank you very much for taking the time and joining us, and hopefully be able to help answer some of the questions. So let's move on to our virtual town hall with the presenters. And with us today, we have Kinjal Patel and Joe Reynolds from the California Department of Public Health, and also Catherine Bernister Loera, who is with the Santa Clara Public Health Department. A lot of those WIC money are actually coming from the state to the local county to administer those funding. And also, we're very happy that we have Kathleen Wilkerson Nicholas, who is the Alameda County Public Health Department, because my district covers a part of the Santa Clara County, but also covered Newark and Fremont South. So I'm very, very happy that we have a representative from Alameda County Public Health Department to be able to join us. And I would love to introduce the first presenter, Kinjal Patel and Joe Reynolds. Both are with the California Department of Public Health. So at this point, please take it over.
Thank you, Assembly Member Chu. Thank you for having us and giving us the chance to provide this information to your constituents. Hello, everybody. My name is Kinjal Patel, and I am from the California Department of Public Health Women, Infants, and Children Program. I am the Outreach Manager for the California WIC program. And I wanted to start off first by providing a brief history of WIC, a short overview of the services WIC provides, a bit about WIC local agencies and vendors who WIC serves, our eligibility criteria, as well as share some information about the new WIC card that we just have started throughout the state. Next, Joel Reynolds will talk about how California WIC has changed how we provide WIC services during the COVID-19 and walk you through how to find program information on our My Family website and California WIC app. The WIC is administered by the United States Department of Agriculture nationwide. There are 90 WIC state agencies, which include 50 state health departments, 34 Indian tribal organizations, the District of Columbia, and 5 territories, including Northern Mariana, American Samoa, Guam, Puerto Rico, and the Virgin Islands. In California, there are 83 local agencies with over 450 sites to serve California WIC participants. Now, when introducing WIC to prospective or new applicants, it is important to explain, in addition to food, WIC offers much more. WIC services include nutrition education, and some examples of topics covered include prenatal nutrition, preparing healthy meals and snacks for children, educational support for breastfeeding, preparing healthy meals, and parenting information. WIC also provides one-on-one breastfeeding help and encouragement, breast pumps for qualifying mothers, as well as support for fathers and other family members. WIC is also a gateway to public health for many of our California WIC families. WIC provides referrals to healthcare and other community services they might need, such as mental health, additional food assistance, domestic violence services, substance abuse, etc. Next slide, please. Most people know that WIC provides food, and WIC issues individualized food packages for mothers and children, providing specific nutritious foods, which are high in vitamin A, C, D, iron, protein, and folic acid, to ensure healthy birth outcomes and healthy growth and development of children. Next slide. Here are some examples of available food packages for different categories. This shows the food package for pregnant participants and children. Children are defined as age 1 to their 5th birthday for WIC purposes. If moms or children have food allergies or intolerances, they can talk to WIC staff about alternate WIC food choices. Many people don't know that WIC has registered dietitians and nutritionists on staff who can help answer nutrition questions. Next. Here is the new WIC card. Recently, WIC moved from paper-based vouchers to an EBT system. Rollout of the new benefits card and new management information system started in May of 2019, and the final local agencies converted in April of this year. The card will improve WIC experience in the clinic and at the grocery stores. The California WIC card has played an important role in allowing WIC local agency staff and WIC participants to stay safe and healthy during COVID-19. Social distancing and sheltering in place while still maintaining their access to healthy food. Next, please. In addition to the core WIC services, WIC also has other programs that local agencies can opt to offer WIC participants. The Farmers Market Nutrition Program provides an additional $28 to WIC families for use at the farmers market during the summer months. The program increases access to locally grown fruits and vegetables and also increases awareness and sales at farmers markets. Next. The Breastfeeding Peer Counseling Program connects pregnant and postpartum participants with paraprofessionals and breastfeeding peer counselors. The peer counselors are usually the same ethnicity, speak the same language, and live in the same community as the WIC participants. Many WIC peer counselors are WIC participants or previous WIC participants. All have personal breastfeeding experiences. There are over 200 peer counselors who provide basic breastfeeding support and education to pregnant and breastfeeding participants across California. Research shows that the Breastfeeding Peer Counseling Program decreases health disparities, helps more women start breastfeeding, and support women to breastfeed longer. Next. In order to qualify for WIC, applicants must be categorically eligible in one of the categories. A person who is pregnant, breastfeeding, or postpartum not breastfeeding, an infant, which is birth to 12 months of age, and a child up to their 5th birthday is eligible. Also, families must meet the income guidelines. For a family to participate, they must have gross income of no more than 185% of the federal poverty level. That's just over $40,000 annually for a family of 3, and be at a nutritional risk. Now, nutritional risk can or does also include food insecurity. To simplify program administration, an applicant who already receives CalFresh, Medi-Cal, or CalWORK is automatically considered income eligible for WIC. Applicants must live in California. However, there is no requirement for the length of California residency to apply for WIC. Many working families qualify for WIC, including military and migrant families. WIC does not check immigration status. We really work hard to get women early in their pregnancy into the program. Studies have shown that early enrollment in WIC has improved birth outcomes. Dads, grandparents, foster parents, and guardians of eligible children can apply for those children. One thing to note here is that participation in WIC program does not count towards public charge determination. Next. To apply for WIC, eligible applicants have multiple ways to apply. First, you can either find the closest WIC location that you want to apply by visiting the My Family website, which is on the screen. You can either call the local agency to make an appointment, or pre-COVID, we would encourage them to walk into one of the convenient WIC locations. However, currently, we would encourage people to call to the closest WIC location that they would like to apply to. Phone number and addresses of the WIC locations can be found on the My Family website. Some local agencies offer free application tools that can be used to get the application process started. Next. What is needed to apply for WIC? Proof of income. If not adjunctively eligible via CalFresh, CalWORK, or Medi-Cal, participants can bring in your pay stubs, tax returns, letter from employer, etc. Proof of California residency. That's any document that shows current address, such as bill, driver's license, rent receipt, etc. Proof of ID could be a government-issued ID, such as a driver's license or another kind of photo or non-photo ID, such as a school ID, library card, or birth certificate. Proof of pregnancy is only for applicable participants, which could be a note from the doctor, ultrasound picture, etc. Talk to your WIC staff if you have questions of what to bring for eligibility purposes. Next slide, please. How has the WIC card improved a participant's WIC experience? Some of the highlights of the new California WIC card are WIC benefits are all on one card for all qualifying WIC participants. Importantly, benefits are not lost if the card is lost. An example of something is if an infant needs to switch to a different formula after mom has already received benefits for the month, she does not necessarily need to go to a WIC site. It will likely be possible to switch it out remotely without the mom coming in, and you don't need the card to change the benefits. Something that's helping out the WIC participants during COVID is California WIC cards are mailed to the family and benefits are loaded onto it once it is confirmed the family has received the card. Coming into WIC clinic is not required currently. Next slide, please. WIC participants can redeem their food benefits at participating WIC vendors, which is grocery stores. Some vendors are big stores like Safeway, Raley's, Winkle, Walmart, and other stores are what we call WIC-only stores. Those stores have 50% or more of their receipts from the WIC food. You may see these stores in your neighborhood. The current total store numbers are as of September of 2019. This number can change daily with the addition of new stores and stores leaving the program. Next one, please. As I mentioned earlier, the participant experience in the store is also improved with the new WIC card. Cashier is no longer put on the spot to tell the participant that a food they are trying to purchase with their WIC benefit is not WIC authorized. The electronic scanner, not the cashier, does the work of verifying that a food is WIC authorized and whether or not that food is available in a shopper's benefit balance. WIC shoppers can use other forms of payment for non-WIC purchases such as their EBT card, debit or credit card, or cash. WIC shoppers do not have to show ID or sign for their items at the store. They simply enter their PIN. Others in the line will likely not notice that a WIC transaction is in progress with the card. Next, please.
All right. Thank you again, Joel. Again, my name is Joel Reynolds, and I'll be talking about some of the changes that the program has implemented since the COVID-19 pandemic began, and also about the WIC app. I just want to reiterate on this slide before we start that WIC local agencies continue to provide all services during the COVID-19 public health emergency. We've made some adjustments on how we are providing these services in order to comply with social distancing requirements, and I'll cover a few of those now. Next slide, please. With the rollout of the new WIC card and the new MIS system, that's the computer system behind the WIC card, we're now in a great position to provide services remotely during the emergency. And I just want to reiterate here that before you go into any local agency or clinic, WIC clinic, to please contact that clinic before going in. And that's important because each clinic in California might have different processes that they have implemented to receive new or existing participants in the WIC program. So it might be they have telephone appointments they are setting, or they would like to video call you, or if you show up at the door, they might be in the office, but they want to meet you in the parking lot. So there's different protocols that each local agency has, so please call ahead. Next slide, please. Recently, we have received a lot of waivers, federal waivers from the Food and Nutrition Service of the USDA. And those waivers have allowed us to serve participants remotely. And that includes the list that you see before you, collecting documentation via fax, email, or photos. We're implementing a new program where you might be able to text those as well into your local clinic and agency. We can issue benefits remotely. Essentially, we could do everything that you need to be done through your cell phone or video chat, secure video chat, and email and text. And so we are working hard to improve those processes as well. And so there's no need to go into a WIC clinic to receive WIC benefits. We also are continuing to issue breast pumps. And in some instances, these will be mailed out, or depending on the local agency, you can go and pick one up. And a lot of times, either you will be met in the parking lot, or they'll inform you of the protocols to pick up a pump safely. Next slide, please. And here for returning participants, again, the waivers have allowed a lot of flexibilities. We will enroll you over the phone, mail you the WIC card, and we have received additional waivers where we are working on improving the shopping process as well. However, that might take some time to implement, but they are they're reflective of our new world that we are in during the emergency. And so just to reiterate again, there's no reason to go in, and we can enroll and re-enroll you without going into a clinic. Next slide, please. And I also want to go over the app. So this app, the New California WIC app, is available in the iPhone App Store and also in the Google Play Store. While the information is limited, unless you are a participant, you can still access the resource links that are seen there at the bottom for more information about the program and what to bring. The benefit of the app is it can provide you reminders of when your next appointments are, what's needed in terms of documentation at your next appointment. You can check your food balances and see what foods you might have remaining in your current benefit month. You can also find local grocers that accept a WIC card and local clinics. Within the app as well, there is a food scanner where you can find new foods that are available in the WIC app. And next screen, please. And here again is the UPC scanner. It's a simple barcode scanner. Unlike CalFresh, where you could buy foods in general with your benefits, the foods within the WIC program are prescribed to healthy foods like milk and cheese and fruits and veggies. And if a product you are looking at has a barcode, you can just scan it to see if it's available in your benefits package. And the app too is being worked on, and we're going to improve that scanner so it's available throughout the app. We're finding a lot of folks are using it to find their foods. During the pandemic, we have expanded the number of foods that are available to WIC participants, and this was to address shortages and outages that occurred earlier in the year. So there is an expanded food list if folks are unable to find their normally prescribed foods. Next slide, please. And here's some of the more information that was available in that resources link. If you are currently not a WIC participant and you download the app, you can find these links here, and they will direct you to areas to see if you are income eligible, the category requirements, resources on the WIC foods that are provided, how to get breastfeeding support, and information on how to use your WIC card or WIC benefits at farmers markets. And then also there's more information there on how to apply for WIC and find your closest clinic. And there at the bottom, we also have a automated phone line that folks are welcome to call. It's a 24-hour-a-day, 7-day-a-week phone number. That one there is specifically for WIC card customer service, but as soon as we update the app, there'll be other resources there as well. Next slide, please. And that concludes our presentation. If you feel you're eligible or know of anybody that's eligible for WIC, we always encourage folks to refer people to WIC or anybody that you think could benefit from WIC services. Again, they are there to improve the health outcomes of vulnerable Californians. And so to contact us, we have our email address there that goes to a customer support desk, and we have a phone number and the website for the general public. And that concludes our presentation there, and we'll pass it along.
Thank you so much for your presentation. I was wondering that 800 number, do we have multiple language accessible?
That 800 number, I believe, is available in 8 different languages. That one is an automated line that helps provide a little background on the program and also helps you locate your local WIC clinic.
Okay,
there.
so we have 8 different languages. So that's great, because I believe language accessibility sometimes is a big barrier for so many of my constituents to be able to get the assistance from the federal or state local programs. So I'm glad to hear that at least on the phone line, you'll be able to have multiple languages. I don't think on your app, they can download different languages app.
The app matches in English and Spanish at this time, and then it will match the language that your phone is native in. And there is also a toggle switch at the very front. It looks like a gear in the top right corner that can switch to Spanish. But yes, we are limited there.
Yeah, I know there listed some requirements. When in doubt, just apply. I mean, let them decide whether you qualify or not, right? I think that would be my recommended approach. Okay, great. Thank you very much, Joel. We'll move on to the next presenter. Catherine is from the Santa Clara County, and also we have, oh no, Catherine is actually from the Alameda County, and we have a representative from Santa Clara County to probably share with us the specifics between the 2 counties. So let's bring the Santa Clara County person up first.
Hi, my name is Catherine Burmeister Loera, and I'm a public health nutrition associate, lactation consultant, and breastfeeding peer counselor with the Santa Clara County Public Health WIC program. I want to say thank you so much, Assembly Member Chu and Council Member Arenas, for giving us this opportunity to be able to share more about WIC, and then also to Kinjal and Joel for such a great overview and information about this program. So I'll start by just sharing a quote by Dr. Sarah Cody, who's our public health officer. "We are all in this together. As we have been throughout the pandemic, we must each do our part to reduce the total risk to our community and keep as many people safe as possible." So we have 7 different clinics that are being able to provide services currently over the phone. So like Joel was saying, like certainly call. And then there are other clinics as well, Indian Health and CompraCare, that are also available, and WIC programs within our county also. So yeah, WIC programs, we've been able to transition quickly to continue to provide the nutrition education, breastfeeding support, food benefits, and local resources to support families throughout this time. We are definitely here to help with nutrition and just listening and anything else. Next slide, please. So for our clinics, Currently, all our appointments are by phone. Our hours of operation are Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Staff accessibility, nearly all of our staff have direct phone lines so that it's easier for participants to contact us or text us. The county's been able to provide phones and also laptops so that we're able to safely work from home. I'm at my working space right now behind me, as you can see, but so there are some of us that are in the clinics, but they're closed. So, and we are providing free breastfeeding support by our lactation consultants and breastfeeding peer counselors. Currently, that's by phone. We're not seeing anyone in person. We are working with the hospitals to be able to communicate and get referrals and services to be able to help moms who are being discharged, as well as NICU families. And we do also work to try to provide education to moms to help them be able to get their own personal pump. But in some cases, we are able to provide pumps. And so for more information with that, please give us a call. And then our farmers market program, that's a seasonal program that we provide as well for, it's additional $28 for fresh fruits and vegetables for families. And we were able to continue doing that thanks to the help of the state and everyone. So that's been a great program that still, we were able to still do that. So that's really awesome. And then educational materials and resources, those are provided via email or text message. So on a daily basis, I am texting someone a link or providing an email resource about a variety of things, answering questions nutritionally, breastfeeding related, or just being able to listen. So, and then our staff is continuing to participate in task force that were to improve the safety net for Santa Clara County citizens and residents. So we do have staff that have been working with other public health and organizations to just, work together to provide those wraparound services so that families can feel safe and that there's resources and that there's help during this time. Next slide, please. So these are just some of the referrals that we also, we provide referrals for Medi-Cal, CalFresh, Santa Clara County COVID-19 financial assistance, emergency child care for essential employees, the car seat program, Catholic Charities, First Five. We also provide mental health referrals and much more. I think all of us are willing to, there's a variety, we have a number of staff, and so someone is always learning about a new program to support families and bringing that to the rest of our staff and sharing that so that we can be able to provide, up-to-date resources and just assistance, nutrition and beyond. Next slide, please. So these are our WIC sites. We have the Santa Clara County Public Health WIC program, and this is the phone number, the 408-792-5101. And you can call that, and that, and in order to learn more about a program, if you qualify. There's also Indian Health Center, and that phone number is 408-445-3400. And again, calling that number, and then also Gardner CompraCare, and that phone number is 254-5197. And then, of course, just, the 188 WIC works, that number, calling that number, or, looking at, the website, Googling it even, in order to be able to find a local WIC program, because we're all here for you to help out and support you during this time. And next slide. So that's my part of the presentation, but I just want to say again, thank you so much for giving us this opportunity to talk about WIC and this awesome program. And just please, if you, like Assemblymember Chu said, if you have a question or just wondering, if you qualify or not, just give us a call, or look us up online, and we're just happy to answer any questions that you have, and we're here for you. Thank you.
Thank you, Catherine. Sorry, I should save my question later, but I remember many years ago, I was at the Lucky 7 supermarket at the time that we launched a program that if you buy local fresh produce, then you get some discount or some credit to your WIC card for your next purchase. Is that program still going on?
So we do have Market Match through the Farmers Market program. And so with that, I think because of the pandemic, it's in certain areas. So I believe that the Milpitas Farmers Market currently, and there's one other place, but with those farmers markets, there is like a Market Match so there is, it's just not at every farmer's market currently, but that is part of the farmer's market program.
Oh, great. Yeah, no, there wasn't a farmer's market. It was actually a brick and mortar. I think it was Lucky 7. You buy fresh produce from Lucky 7, those fresh produce have the little sticker to mark that this is a local fresh produce. Then if you buy it and a checkout stand, you get some credit. Can't remember the name of that program, but it was launched about 4 or 5 years ago.
I don't believe that currently we have that available.
Okay. No, I felt that was a good program because you always encourage people to buy local. Right.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you so much, Catherine. Our next speaker is Kathleen. Welcome, Nicholas, with the Alameda County Public Health Department. Kathleen?
Yeah, thank you, Assemblymember Chu. Thanks for inviting Alameda County and joining today's town hall meeting. Councilmember Arenas, thank you for being here. Thank you to both of you for being strong supporters of families in the Bay Area. And for those of you watching at the comfort of your home or offices, I'm glad you're able to join us today. My name is Kathleen Wilcom Nicholas. I'm the WIC Director for Alameda County Public Health Department WIC program. I say that because in Alameda County, there's 7 WIC agencies who provides WIC services. City of Berkeley has their own WIC program. Several community health centers also has their own WIC program. So Public Health Department is just one of the 7. Next slide, please. Alameda County WIC transitioned to the WIC card and WIC-Wise, which is the name of our computer system, last year, September 3rd. So we just celebrated our 1-year anniversary. Yay! It was very challenging at that time, but I'm really glad that we were able to transition, and we were actually the first group to transition. Clients love using the WIC cards, and some of their comments are, it's so much easy to use. It's very convenient. They just swipe their card like any other debit card or credit card. Nobody needs to know that they are on WIC. It's less stigma for them when they do their grocery shopping. And they love that the benefits are just taken out automatically out of their WIC cards. That transition to the WIC card and the WIC system actually made it relatively easy for our agency to set up staff to work remotely. When the pandemic started and the shelter in place was announced by our public health director back in March. Next slide, please. Thank you. Majority of our staff are actually working remotely since the end of March. The picture there is one of our nutrition assistants, Kamisha. You could see her kids along with her too in their living room, providing WIC services. WIC services was not interrupted at all. We continued to provide nutrition education, breastfeeding support, providing mothers who needs breast pumps, remote appointments. Both clients and our staff really appreciate this flexibility, thanks to USDA and State WIC, and of course our parent agency. They just feel much safer being able to see their clients at home, and the clients definitely feel safer being at home, but still receiving their WIC benefits. Our agency continued to serve over 14,000 clients every month. Next slide, please. The best way to really apply for WIC at our agency is to call us at this number, 595-6400. Clients could also email us. We do ask our clients to send their documentation prior to the WIC appointment, just to make it easier for staff and to have everything ready so the appointment goes a little bit smoother, since all appointments are conducted remotely. We have staff on site taking in client calls 5 days a week, 8:30 to 4:30. And we also have staff who monitors our emails every day. The next slide actually, please, next slide. This next slide actually shows the 4 different locations with the public health department. It also shows the different email addresses that we have for each of our sites. It's easy to remember: Fremont WIC, Hayward WIC, Telegraph WIC, because it's on Telegraph Avenue in Oakland, except for Eastmont. It's just a little bit of wicinfo@acgov.org. But I always say there's no stupid question. Call us if you have any question, anything. Just give us a call so we could help you out. And then next slide. There's just my contact information. If anybody has any further questions or further clarifications are needed, just feel free to give me a call or to email me. Thanks again for joining us today. That's the end, Assemblymember Chu.
All right, thank you so much, Kathleen. And we're moving on to the Q&A portion of the town hall. But before I open up for the public, I have a burning question. When they apply for this WIC program, do they have to re-enroll or reapply, or it will just automatically enroll for 5 years?
The eligibility, the certification period is actually 1 year, so they would have to renew it every year.
Oh, bummer. Okay, great. So make sure that we need to enroll every year. And would you, before they expired, would you remind them to enroll?
Yes, we do. We call them several times.
All right. Okay. Okay. Because I know that sometimes people get busy with their lives and it might just drop it. And okay, great. Let's start with the Q&A section. I'm happy to have my intern, Vinash Agarwal, to read the question that you have submitted before and during this town hall. And we will do our best to answer as many questions as we possibly can. If we won't be able to get to your questions, please feel free to contact my office afterward. My office is virtually open to anybody. So with that, Vinash, please start reading the questions. Egawa, you there? Anurag,
Hello?
hello.
Yeah, sorry. Thank you, Assembly Member Chu. So the first question we have is that, is there a limitation up to how many children WIC provides for each applicant?
I'll go ahead and answer that.
Or-
So no, if you have 5 kids under 5, they're all eligible to get WIC services. So there's no limit as long as the kids are under age 5.
Also, if you're a guardian or a foster parent,
Okay, so you can have multiple WIC cards in a family. Is that correct? Or the same card just have a multiple different amount on there?
Yes, it's going to be 1 card per family.
Okay,
but if you have your biological children, but then also a foster child, then you would have the card for the foster child and then also for the biological children.
great question. Thank you.
Yeah, so that might have actually answered the second question, but I'll still ask it anyway. Can fathers other than mothers also apply for the program?
Yes. So, yes, dads qualify, if grandparents, guardians, absolutely. If the child is under the age of 5, then they can come in and call in order to be a part of the program.
Okay, thank you. And is there a certain amount of years you must be a resident of California to be eligible for WIC, or at any time, if you're a resident, can you apply?
You can apply at any time if you're new to California. Yes, if you just got moved in to California like that day and find a WIC program, yes, you can come to or call to apply.
Okay, and the next question we have are all WIC services and programs up and running through COVID-19, or are there any changes to the level of the services?
I could speak for Alameda County WIC agencies. They're all up and running. I think majority are offering remote services, no in-person appointments.
Okay.
The same with
And,
Santa Clara County. The WIC programs, I believe that we have been able to transition quickly, and we're providing like phone services, and then moved to being able to do text and email, and then also for the breast pumps, we do, if they're have a criteria, we do have a limited number of breast pumps, but we do provide, we do a drop-off, kind of a drive-through drop-off. One of our lead lactation consultants does that. So, and I also believe that the other WIC programs in our county are as well.
okay, thank you.
And, oh,
sorry?
I was just going to add on to that. The level, this is Joel from the state. We're hearing that a lot of participants are liking the remote services being provided during COVID-19, and we are working on a statewide virtual video platform and improved texting platform to help local agencies provide services. And so we're getting a lot of great feedback.
Okay, thank you. And the next question we have is, can you explain the process of how the California WIC app allows participants to track their benefits?
Catherine, I think you're on mute. Were you trying to talk?
I was just saying, Joel.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I lead up a lot of the app development. Now, when you enter into the app, it will show you kind of icons or images of all your available benefits. And then as they are used for the month, they will slowly show them declining until they reach 0. In the future, we are planning an app update here, hopefully by December or after the first of the year. And it'll be a lot more clearer to track those benefits. So after your benefits are loaded, and you use them, the benefits will gray out and move hopefully to the bottom of the screen to clearly show that you don't have that benefit anymore. And then the remainder of your benefits will show. So if you have 7 gallons of milk, and when you run out, it'll be 0 and then move to the bottom.
Okay.
And those are tracked, sorry, for the entire family, for all persons that are on that card. It doesn't track it separately for each person in the family.
Okay, great. And the next question I believe has been answered, but again, just for some reiteration, at this time, are all services and counseling being done remotely, or have clinics begun in-person appointments?
The WIC offices in Alameda County are offering services remotely.
Sorry. I know for the Santa Clara County Public Health WIC program, we are offering services remotely. I'm not sure what Indian Health and CompraCare I'm not sure. So, but the phone numbers were on the slide to also call them. But for the public health, we're doing remote.
And again, this is Joel, and each local agency throughout the state has the ability to provide services remotely. On occasion, we'll run into folks that might not be able to access remote services for whatever number of reasons, and local agencies have been willing to accommodate. But the preference is for remote enrollment, re-enrollment, et cetera.
Okay, thank you. And the next question we have is the farmers market nutrition program offered on a case-by-case basis, or is every participant in WIC eligible?
For our agency, I think we have a certain number for our caseload that is available each year. So it's, during that time frame, we ask families if they're interested in the program, and then if they're interested in the program, then we provide those until we no longer have them available for that time frame. And I wanted to follow up with Assemblymember Chu. We do, the WIC benefits do allow for and provide organic. So, even without the farmers market program, the WIC card, the money that we're allowed for, that is provided for fresh fruits and vegetables, that also includes organic food, fruits and vegetables.
Great.
Okay, great. And the next question we have is, what kind of mental health services are available through WIC, and who is eligible for that service, such as moms, kids, or guardians other than mothers?
So our agency actually provides developmental screenings for kids 6 months to 5 years old, and we provide the referrals to Help Me Grow. And we also conduct depression screenings to all our pregnant and postpartum moms. And we work with Alameda County Public Health Nursing and Alameda County Family Health Services to make the referrals. If somebody, the EPDS is based on a scoring, I guess a tally. So depending on the person's score, we then make the referral to a different organization. So we don't have any mental specialists within our WIC program.
And for Santa Clara County, that's similar in that we just provide referrals. We don't do an official screening, but we will always ask families, moms and dads, just touching base, making sure that they know that there are resources, that they're not alone. and then just, providing referrals and also follow up to just make, just touch base with them, but it's not, and, working with like the family resource centers, Parents Helping Parents, supporting mamas, and Valley Health and the nurse family partnerships, just those resources to connect and again, build wraparound around that family.
Okay, thank you. And next question we have is, at any moment does WIC ask for immigration status when an applicant applies?
No, the answer is no, right? We covered that in the presentation.
Right. And then lastly, what is the best way to apply for WIC via website or phone?
Whatever they're comfortable with.
Right.
I think in our, more people are comfortable on their phones using, Googling or searching that way, or, doing something online and calling that way. So however they feel safest or want to get more information and find out if they qualify and more about the program, whichever they're comfortable.
Great answer.
Okay, thank you so much. I believe that is all the questions we have right now, so I'll be turning it back to you, Assemblymember Chu.
Great. All right. Thank you so much. And thank you for all those great questions. And definitely I want to have a special shout out for all of those that work in the public health department during this pandemic. I know you're taking a lot of heat and making a lot of adjustments. So thank you, and thank you. And before we conclude, I would like to ask Councilmember Arenas to have a few final word of wisdom. Sylvia, are you there?
Oh boy, that's a tall order. I don't know that I can top whatever we've already heard from Catherine, from Kinjal, from Joelle, from Kathleen. They are really at the source of all of the information, and I'm glad that we had some folks asking really great questions. I did want to just follow up and let folks know that in the chat there is 2 links, and I mentioned in the opening that we have some scholarships available that make it completely free for childcare. And this is a learning pod. We call it a learning pod. It's distance learning, but on site at our community center and at our libraries. There's only some select areas. And so if you go to the Rock and Learn, it's called Rock and Learn, then you can look at some of the sites that are available, and then a parent can fill out the application and be considered. And we're very flexible in terms of it's it's not a very harsh, rigorous process. We want to make it as easy as possible for parents. So that's available. And I know that we talked about food distribution. I mean, this WIC program that is all encompassing for young families with breastfeeding and pumps that are available, something that maybe people didn't think that would still be available. And so I really appreciate you bringing that to light. And if there's some families that for whatever reason didn't meet the qualifications for this WIC program, that the city of San Jose is also continuing to provide food distribution. And I think Kylie might be able to put something, or has already, because she's amazing. By the way, Kylie is on my team, and she's been putting some of this information in the chat. But we'll also put it on our Facebook just so that you have it available. I just wanted to give some follow-up to that. And then lastly, one of the things that we've been doing, and we've been coordinating with the county actually very well, is digital, really closing that digital divide that we have seen previous to to COVID and this pandemic really hitting hard all of our families. But now we're relying on connecting this way, right? And so if we don't have access to the internet or a really good connection, it just makes it so much more difficult to go to the doctors, to go to your WIC appointment, to look for another job, and to learn. So the city of San Jose and the county have already contributed together collectively $15 million. The city of San Jose purchased hotspots, and then the county purchased the devices, and collectively that goes to Santa Clara County Office of Education. And so if you are familiar with any family that still doesn't have a very good, a reliable hotspot, our hotspots are just primo. I mean, you know, these are the ones that you can actually have a couple of people on the same hotspot and not compete for bandwidth, right? So please let us know. Kylie, if you can put our phone number up so that you can contact us directly, we're more than happy to help you out. And just lastly, thank you so much, Assemblymember Kansen Chu, for bringing us all together and for providing just valuable resource information that all of us need to know. One, to advocate for families. Well, now we know some of the accurate information so that we can relay it to our families. And two, really just to stay connected. So thank you for everything that you all do. I really appreciate it. And have a wonderful rest of Monday and Indigenous Day. Thank you.
All right, great. Thank you, Councilmember Arenas, for sharing some important information about the local, city, and the county program. Like I said, that Sylvia is really being a strong advocate for women and children in our community. I really appreciate your services. And with that, I want to thank my staff as well as all of you who have taken the time and joined us today, and have a great afternoon. Thank you.